Hello, good evening, Ashish. I'm just waiting for the other one to work. Okay, can you guys hear me and see me on both the app and YouTube? Good evening. Can you see me both on the app and YouTube? Please give me a heads up before I start the class. Okay, Ayushi, this is all right. Everyone set? So today we're going to look at analytical writing a test. Now, lots of questions all of you have on this. What is this? How am I going to do in this? It is just like the WAT section of CAT. There's only a small difference. And in many ways, I feel it is easier. All right. So let's look at the test format. You are given 20 minutes. This is what I heard from most students last year also, though they did not give me the topics. I got one, and that also was not a very much in detail. I couldn't figure out much. So my request to all of you, whoever is taking the IIM interview, to let me know what your topic was, send it to me so that we can use it the next year for the students. All right. So, but of course, I have chosen my favorite topics for the session. So you're generally given 20 minutes and you're given one side, one lined page. So the question is printed on one side and they tell you to write on the other side only. So basically you're getting only one A4 size paper to write and it is ruled. So it's not like it's a plain sheet of paper where you write tiny handwriting and get away with it. Anyway, you don't get much time to write. In 20 minutes, how much can you write? The generally so far the topic has been followed by four questions. What are the claims made by the author? What is the reasoning provided by the author? Do you agree with the reasoning or not? Or is the reasoning strong or weak? Clear so far, everybody? All right. What does it remind you of when you get a, a topic and you're asked, what is the claim? A claim is nothing but a conclusion. So AWT is like a critical reasoning question where you are not given options. It's like a theta critical reasoning question. You're given an argument and you are asked what is the conclusion in the argument, what are the assumptions made by the author, how do you strengthen, how do you weaken, something like that. So it is actually easier than building your argument on a topic, because for that you really need a lot of knowledge, you need a lot of data. For this also you can substantiate your answers with data, but there isn't much time, so the expectations are not that high. All right. So what should be the steps to follow? First, obviously, let me get my, let me get this. First, obviously, you read the questions that are given. Okay. Read the questions that are given and answer the questions. One second. Is there an issue? Is there an issue with the voice? There seems to be some issue with the voice. You can hear me, right? And see me, obviously. Okay, so read the argument, identify the main points of the argument. Like, what is the conclusion? Can you identify the conclusion? What is the author? What kind of premise or facts are presented by the author? and to reach the conclusion, what are the assumptions he is making. Once you read and you have these, you find it easier to answer the questions given. Okay, if there is no question given, last few years there have been questions. If there is no question given, then follow this line. What is the conclusion? The author argues that, and that would be your first paragraph. Second paragraph, what are the assumptions made by the author? Third paragraph, do you agree with it or not? If no questions are given. If the questions are given, life becomes easier. All you have to do is answer the questions. Got it? So generally then, if no questions are given, the introduction should restate the argument and give us the author's conclusion. The body should identify the reasoning used by the author, the facts given by the author. You write, in to reach this conclusion, the author has provided these facts which act as the evidence. In reaching the conclusion, these are the assumptions made by the author. These assumptions are unstated, in the sense that they are not supported. Therefore, that is the weakness in the argument. Generally, they give you an argument which obviously has certain flaws. So you can point out the flaws. And in the conclusion, you say why you agree or disagree, and you sum up. Had the author given this fact, it would have made the argument stronger. This is in the unlikely event you don't get a question. You're just asked how well reasoned do you find the argument, do you agree or you disagree. Then the format should be first intro, restate the argument, body, identify all the reasons provided by the author, also the reasons not provided by him, say this is missing, the assumptions made by him, and sum up by talking about whether you agree or disagree. So far, are you clear on this? All right. Let's look at a sample question. I have chosen one of the arguments given, one of the classic GMAT analytical writing assessment arguments, because most students, when I have given them this topic, they found it easy to analyze. So let's read this, and I want you to be quick with your fingers and type in whatever thoughts come to your mind about this argument, in terms of how well reasoned you find this argument, the line of reasoning, and the use of evidence in the argument. All right, so this is the argument. Our total sales have increased by 20% since we added a pharmacy section to our grocery store. Clearly, the customer's main concern is the convenience afforded by one-stop shopping. The surest way to increase our profits over the next couple of years, therefore, is to add a clothing department along with an automotive supply and repair department. We should also plan to continue adding new departments and services, such as a restaurant, a garden shop, in subsequent years. Being the only store in the area that offers such a wide range of services will give us a competitive advantage over the local stores. This is the argument given to you. You are supposed to analyze the argument in terms of the claim made by the author. What is the author's conclusion? Identify that. What reasoning has he used to reach the conclusion? How is that reasoning strong or weak? What can make his reasoning strong? So first thing, please be quick on your with your fingers, type in your answer. What do you think is the author's main argument, or the main point, or the claim he is making? They can ask anything. Claim is the word that is used by IMA. Claim, conclusion, main point. Okay, what is it? Quickly. Total sales increased after pharmacy section was added. The customer's main concern is one-stop shopping. So to increase our profits, we must start other departments as well. We will be the only store in the area that offers such a wide range of services. So we will have a competitive advantage over the local stores. Profit maximization through what? Through what? What is he saying? Profit maximization by diversifying the services offered, right? So what is his claim? That we can maximize profit by diversifying the products that we offer or the range of services that we offer. Okay, so what is he assuming in this? So that's his conclusion. So he says if we open a lot of departments, then our profits will be really high. Perfect. Okay, what reasoning has he used to reach this conclusion? Why does he think profits can be maximized by uh, increasing the range of services? Customer preference. They prefer one-stop shopping. So if we offer a lot of services, they will only shop in uh, our shop and not go elsewhere. What is the assumption he is making here? The last line. Being the only store in the area that offers such a wide range of services will give us a competitive advantage over other local stores. So what is the assumption? What's the assumption he is making? One, that customers prefer one-stop shopping. Second, that they are going to be the only store giving one-stop shopping, giving such a wide range of services. Even if at present they are the only shop offering us a wide range of services, seeing that it is catching up, others may also set it up. Correct? So his assumption is they are the only shop and they'll continue to be the only one providing such services. That is a flawed assumption. All right. Now you will put it together. This is the claim. These are the reasoning. This is the reasoning he has used. These are the unsupported assumptions he is making. Therefore, the reasoning is flawed. Got it? I don't agree with it or I agree with it. I agree that they may their sales may increase, but don't agree that they will be the only store offering such a wide range of services. Others are going to also jump into the bandwagon once they see something is working, and that's how you argue. Are you clear? All right. Now, another favorite topic of mine. So, remember, we will discuss the topics and I want you to write it and time yourself while you write it. All right? Okay, the second topic. Galileo and Pythagoras should be respected more than Shakespeare and Mozart because they impact civilization as it is. They have a greater impact on civilization as it is. Give logical points for or against this argument. A little more difficult. Everything has not been given to us. Just an opinion has been expressed. Galileo and Pythagoras should be respected more than Shakespeare and Mozart because they impact civilization. Their impact on civilization as it is today is greater. Therefore, they should be respected more. Right? So, restate the author's main claim. Restate the author's main claim for me. Are you typing in your answers or you're waiting for me to speak? Okay. Do you number one question number he believes that people who have a greater impact on civilization should be respected more. Correct. He believes that scientists like Galileo and Pythagoras, scientists, mathematicians, STEM, STEM people should be respected more than dramatists, musicians, even if they are the greatest dramatists, greatest musicians. He believes the value of science, scientific advancement is more than the impact of science and scientific advancement is more than that of literature and music. Therefore, scientists, mathematicians who impacted civilization should be respected more than playwrights and musicians. This is the author's claim. Put it any which way you want. Do you agree with it? That's the first question. If you agree with it, you write all about how science has helped us, and art and music is only for the recreation of man only, so doesn't really, uh, they don't have any impact. But even the greatest scientist and mathematician would tell you that there is an aspect to human life that craves for the finer instinct, that finer instincts, and that literature, music also has an as great an impact, if not greater, than science and mathematics. And you give examples of how literature, how playwrights, writers, poets brought about a change in society, how it is not just science and maths, that is like human personality has different aspects. So every aspect is important, and a civilization has different aspects to it. Every aspect, the development of every aspect is important. So every player, people from any field who have made an impact on civilization, not just math and science. So you can speak both sides, right? All right, clear? So this would be a difficult topic where you have to speak of science. My pen is not writing for some reason. Let me just see if this will write. Yeah. Where you talk about science versus arts, science versus literature, science and maths versus music and literature. And you have to argue, you have to say how the author in his statement, in his claims, neglects the impact of literature, music, art, and culture on civilization. Okay, and then you argue about holistic development of civilization requires uh, that importance be given, because you cannot neglect the impact of science and literature, and speak about how literature, how books, how words have the power to inspire, to change, to stir people up, to instigate. You can give any number. It's ideas. After all, human life and human civilization is driven by ideas. And these ideas need not all lead to scientific development. Some lead to cultural development, some lead to aesthetic development, which is all very important for human life to be lived fully. Clear? All right. This is a topic on which I hope all of you, I want some responses, uh, because otherwise it's like I'm talking to myself, right? Not very interesting to do that. All right. So, what can you expect? You can expect topics on war, on the social media, on fake news, on what happened in ZAT this time, can come as a proper, as an argument, right? On how to curb fake news. The ZAT topic was more like an analytical writing argument only, right? So you can expect these topics to be on something current, but they will be in the form of arguments that this should be done, that should be banned, and you have to analyze the argument. You're not you, and in analyzing, you may give a point saying this is the problem, but you don't have to build your own argument. So here he says social media has helped in countering the argument. You can add your own point. All right. Social media has helped in making our world more democratic. It has helped politicians reach out to the people. Even people look to gain traction in politics. Even people looking to gain traction, get influence in politics, can share their views and build up popularity, helping them enter the political world. Social media also helps to reach out to people to gather funds. Forums like Facebook and WhatsApp help people communicate between themselves. Hence, conclusion is social media can only lead to a harmonious future. My pen is not writing today. It's very frustrating. All right. So basically, the argument mentions that social media has the main argument of the author, or the author's claim, is that social media is helping people make is helping to make the world more democratic by giving people access to politics, for the funds reached for politics, to better communication. So through access to better information, better communication, better reach to people and funds, social media is making the world more democratic and the future more harmonious. Do you agree with it? Okay, so you can call the author, this is the author's claim. What is the reason he has used? The basic nature of social media, the accessibility, is what he's saying is making the world more democratic. The access to information, the access to communication, the access to reach to a lot of people, and that will lead to a harmonious life. This is only one aspect of a democracy: access to information, access to communication, and access, or better reach, better outreach to other people. But harmony and democracy need other things too. The author focuses too much on the point of accessibility. Yes, social media has given people access, politicians access to the people, allowed people to access politicians' life when you are part of a politician's Facebook or WhatsApp, right? That is only one aspect, and that one aspect does not necessarily make the country more democratic or the future harmonious. You can talk of the other aspects which are necessary in a democracy. One is social media access. People of all sections, can they access social media? That is number one. Second, if it is helping you access information and helping you communicate better, that is what has led to the greatest problem of fake news, rumors, and all kinds of trolling. So the problem is, when you give people access, when you give a weapon in their hand to access information and to spread information, it does not necessarily lead to a democracy. It leads to all the ills of democracy, that is spread of false information, spread of rumors, and any other matter that can happen, and trolling and other things, and you have very little to defend yourself. So a few people can take the everyone cannot benefit from it. The people who benefit from it will use it to exploit the other people, and that is not democracy. So how it has both sides to it. It's a double-edged sword. The author is only talking of one side and ignoring the other side, the ugly side of social media, which can lead to disharmony, which can lead to conflict, which can lead to miscommunication and to fake news. So that is why, that is the flaw in this reasoning of the author. And you build your argument. All right? Yeah. Yes. All right. Topic 3. Another very so one of the topics they would give you is about the impact of technology. Now each time the topic, whether it's in WAT or in AWT, has been on impact of technology on a particular aspect, on a particular segment of society. Once I think the topic in WAT was technology and nature, like how it's harming the environment, how it's harming nature. This time, AWT topic went to technology and how it impacts children's creativity, how it's affecting their very brain structure. It says technology impacts how children think and feel. They tend to think superficially and they lose creativity. The one who spend too much time online tend to lose focus. And this has been, I think it was out in the newspaper yesterday or day before that, cognitive thinking, cognitive awareness, because they are just scrolling. We all are scrolling. Your ability to focus on a task for a particular period of time also is getting adversely affected. All right, so basically he's saying technology impacts, it affects how children think and feel. So with technology, children are now thinking superficially. They are not going deep into an issue. They are losing creativity. And those children who spend too much time online also tend to lose focus. So basically the author is speaking of the negative impacts of technology on children and argues that children should be kept away from technology till they are 12 years old. All right. So, what is the author's claim? That is the author's claim. Technology is adversely impacting children, their creativity, the way they think. So, they should be kept away from technology till they are 12 years old. What is the reasoning provided? Same thing. The reasoning provided is because they are getting affected, they should not be exposed to this negative influence. Right? Do you agree with the reasoning? So if you say you agree, you'd say one part, I agree with the point that technology has some adverse uh, influence and impact on the way everybody thinks, especially the way children think, because it doesn't give you time to think. Thinking leads to creativity. When you have a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper and a pen, you tend to think. The moment somebody suggests what to do, that's where you shut down your brain. You say somebody else is telling me. Same thing, they're saying people's memory for numbers is decreasing, because earlier we did all our calculations in our head. We remembered phone numbers, six digit numbers. Now you just see the names, so you don't remember. Now think of a child. We, at least when we were children, at least I can speak for myself, used to do a lot of thinking and calculating in our brains on a piece of paper also. But we didn't have access to a gadget which would tell us every little thing. Even recipes, I used to note it down and remember. Now everything is there. Technology gives you everything ready made. So earlier we used to sew a garment from scratch. Now everything is available ready made. So your creativity, you're not using your brain, you're shutting down a part of your brain because a gadget is doing it for you. There are some people who are using the other part of their brain to do something really more creative, but most of us don't, right? So he's saying this impact on children is even more, so keep them away till they are 12 years old. So you say yes, the author has focused on one negative aspect of technology, which is true, but there are flaws in his reasoning. What is the first flaw in his reasoning? What is the magic of that number 12? Why till 12 years old? After 12, so they'll have all their creative and thinking instincts in place, so then you can give them technology, is it? So what is the reason why he has given this 12-year-old cutoff, 12 years cutoff? That's ambiguous. He has not substantiated that point, so leaves a lot of things. Second, is it really possible to keep children away from technology? Because we're living in a world which is totally dominated by technology. So what he is suggesting is not practical nor feasible. On the other hand, what you can do is, yes, what he is telling is there should be total digital detox. Don't even initiate your children into technology. Is it feasible? That's practical. Is it feasible? The third point you can raise is, what is the alternative? Can you have some sort of restriction on the kind of technology that children have access to? Can you create something which will help their creativity, help them think, help them build their focus? There are many. Education is being driven through technology. Therefore, you can say that there is one type of technology, one aspect of it which does this, but children can be exposed to other aspects of technology which enhance their creativity, enhance their focus, and help them. And you cannot keep children away from technology. So you could argue either way depending on what you think and what is your opinion. Right? All right. Uh, this topic seems pretty long, So you need to really summarize it and get to the claim faster. Cleanliness is something which the Western world follows out of ethics and an efficient waste management system. While some countries often follow it due to imposition of draconian laws, so in some countries, in Western countries, it's followed as a matter of ethics, and also because they have an efficient system in place. In some countries, cleanliness is followed because there are very harsh rules on that. Okay, chew gum in Singapore, you will be put in prison. Litter on the roads in Singapore, you will be put in prison, right? So India follows neither. We neither have the ethics of cleanliness, nor do we have strict laws and to implement laws of cleanliness. So we have unhygienic public places as a result. Children follow cleanliness only if they are taught about it. What India needs, therefore, is a proper civic education system. You want your children to be neat, hygienic, to follow cleanliness, and then you need to have a proper civic education system. Then the question, who will impart this lesson? The schools and teachers are neither interested nor willing to take up the challenge. It seems impossible that cleanliness will be taught to students. We should stop hoping for a clean India. So, what is the author's claim? What do you think is the author's claim? Or what, in your words, is the author's claim? We cannot hope for a clean India because children need to be taught cleanliness and no one is ready to take up the challenge of teaching, or we don't have a we cannot hope for a clean India because we cannot have a proper civic education system, right? Why? Teachers, students, nobody is willing to have it. Do you agree with it? That's the claim. What's the author's reasoning? Since countries have a ethic, cleanliness ethic, or they have laws, we have neither. So we need a civic education system. Since nobody is willing to take up the challenge, therefore we are without one. That's the reasoning he has used. Is it flawed? Yes, it is. Why is it flawed? You can the civic education system can be put in place. It's not, if teachers and students, it's not. One is it the role of the teacher and the school? So the author has, his reasoning is, well, his premise is correct, that we don't have a proper waste management system, we don't have a cleanliness ethic, and therefore we have unhygienic public places. That part is correct. But the second part, that we are not going to have a clean India because nobody is willing to take the challenge, is incorrect, because the people he expects to take the challenge are not the people who will really make a difference. The organization or the body which has both the power and the money to put this in place, a civic education system in place, is the government. If the government puts a civic education system in place, the teachers will follow it, the students will follow it, the people will follow it. So the author has neglected in putting the entire onus on schools and teachers, and said since they are not taking up the challenge, we're not going to have a proper, we're not going to have a clean India. He tends to just look at the wrong side of the problem because he is holding the wrong people responsible. Okay, it is possible and hopefully it will be possible with all the systems in place. All right, that's how you argue the topic. Now, I think you got an idea. Read the argument, summarize the argument in your own words, identify the conclusion, then write the conclusion in your own words. If the question is what is the author's conclusion, then what are the reasons given by the author? You can literally pick it up from the arguments and put it in your own words. Do you agree, disagree? That is where your opinion comes in. That is where you point out, yes, I agree. So far as this is concerned, I agree with it, but I don't agree with the author's solution. That's how you clearly put your ideas forward. All right. Money should not be given to NGOs. They often end up spending it on themselves. Look at how many of them hold their meetings in expensive hotels. Moreover, the government is there to help the needy. Why are the needy people asking for help from NGOs? Also, the emotional advertising they use, they refers to the NGOs, is very manipulative. Therefore, these activities should be banned. What is the author's main claim? What is the author's main claim? Please do come up with your answers. What is the author's main claim? That an NGO should not be given money because they end up spending it on themselves. Correct? What is the line of reasoning he has used? That they hold their NGOs hold their meeting in expensive hotels, so they should not be given money. The government is anyway there to help the needy, so what is the purpose of having the NGOs? NGOs use emotional advertising, so they should not be given money. All right. So the reasoning used is they spend it on, they hold their meetings in expensive hotels. Needy people have the government to help them, and emotional advertising by the NGOs is manipulated. Okay. What are the assumptions made by the author? Many, and many unsupported. Just because they hold their meetings in expensive hotels does not mean they're spending it on themselves, right? What money are they using to hold their meetings in expensive hotels? How do you know it is the money given to them by uh, for whatever cause that they're collecting the money? Second point is, right, government is there to help the needy. Is that the government's job? Can the government really do that? Isn't the issues of poverty, of the number of needy in the country so large that the government alone cannot do anything? So government needs the help of NGOs to help the needy. To say that the government is there to help the needy is neglecting, putting the burden on the government and neglecting the other agencies in the public who can help the needy, right? About emotional advertising. When So the point of an NGO is to raise funds for the needy. How they raise it, emotional advertising is not unethical. If they can stir people emotionally to help the needy, what is wrong with it? The author tends to think that emotional advertising is manipulative. You may not agree with that. It may be manipulative, but it's not unethical. If I can emotionally drive someone to pay money or to support an orphanage with my emotional advertisement, there's nothing unethical about it. So why should it be banned? So there's so many flawed points in that argument that you can write a long essay with that topic. Correct? So what do you need to do now? Please look at these five topics. Time yourself to 20 minutes. Start the timer with a piece of paper, one side of a sheet of paper. Read the topic, then write about it. Introduction should be the author's claim or conclusion. That should be the first paragraph. Second and third paragraph you can devote to the line of reasoning used by the author, the reasons he has given, the evidence he has given to reach the conclusion. Then the next paragraph you point out the flaws, where you say, I disagree with this because this is where the author's going. I agree with this is where he goes. And then conclude by saying that if the author had given these points, the argument might be well reasoned, but as of now, the argument is flawed. If you have a free flowing essay, otherwise, just answer the questions in the order in which the questions are given. 3 or 4 questions you will be given just like here, and then you have to answer it. All right. Clear, all of you? Do write those essays. All right. If you have any doubts, please fill up the form and send it to us. Any of you aspiring for CAT 2024, remember, fill the form, and uh, one of our counselors will call you and let you know exactly what are the courses we offer, what would help you the most. All right. But those of you who are facing an interview from IIMA anytime in the future, at least 5 essays you practice, so that on the day of the test you will not have a brain freeze. You'll have a nice essay. You know that the introduction should be the conclusion, written as precisely as possible, and the flow of arguments. Already think of the way the paper will look when you write it. All right. All right, do that, and I will see you again sometime with a session on WAT, that is the essay writing for CAT. All right, follow us on our social media channels so that you know you get notifications of all our sessions that are being taken by our faculty. All right, I will see you very soon. Bye bye.